Hey Graceway, Pastor Tim here, hoping that you're doing well today. I want to take a couple minutes and shoot a video just to let you know where we are in regards to our reopening. Excited, obviously, to be able to get to the spot where we're able to reopen, but wanted to just give you some context as to how we're thinking about things, let you know what our plan is, and then just have a couple things that I wanted to talk to you about. So the context of how we're thinking about things, especially as more information's coming out, and as the information, let's just be honest, tends to not always be consistent depending on who you're talking to, has gone in three phases for us. They are not linear phases. They're just kind of how we think about it, and sometimes we're on phase one, sometimes we're on phase three. But it kind of works this way. Whenever the virus first kind of began to be a pandemic and really affect the norms of our church, we started to just think primarily about survival and safety. Just what are the things that we need to do in light of what's happening. This is phase one, just for us to continue to be safe, for us to continue to have our church function the way that it needs to function, and what are the decisions that are best for us in this time. Phase two was, what are the adjustments that we need to make? Obviously, this is a different way to do church. Obviously, it's a different way to communicate and stay connected. So what are the adjustments in phase two that we need to make, not just to survive and not only for safety, but how do we thrive? How do we join what God is doing in this season? We don't think that this was a surprise to God, and so we wanted to kind of discern and pray and talk through what is God doing and how should Graceway respond. And then phase three has been kind of the point of no return. What are the things that are changed and they aren't going back? What are the things that are permanent adjustments, the new norms for us? And we've been through all different phases in this season. We continue to worry about your safety, pray about your safety, make decisions for Graceway to continue to be solvent and healthy, which it is. I want to be clear with you about that. As you can see, we've made a lot of adjustments. We made adjustments to our weekend service, to our online service. We've made adjustments within our staff. It's kind of all hands on deck to stay connected to you and make sure that we are communicating and ministering online and via text and FaceTime and Zoom and all of these things. And I think that we're still kind of trying to discern what phase three is. As cities across our country begin to reopen, what are the things that we want to continue to do? What are the things that we've learned in this season that are going to go with us into the future? And so our plan is this, and let me be clear about this. This is a day-to-day plan, and so this is, it's Friday toward the end of May, and as new information comes out, which it feels like it does every single day, new plans begin to form. And so this is where we are right now. It's three phases. Phase one is what we're doing right now. It's everything's online. Everything is Zoom meetings and FaceTime and text and email and all of those things, and that's the phase that we're living in. Phase two is what we're going to call the house party phase. And this is where we are able to invite people into our home and do kind of house church, small group, small communities. You're inviting people from your neighborhood, and we're doing and participating in church together. We are right now, to be entirely honest with you, somewhere in between phase one and phase two. The mayor just extended the 10-10-10 order, and so we are trying to discern when's the best time for us to move into phase two, house party phase, and that's going to be something that you're going to enjoy doing and that it's safe for you to do. Phase three for us is a full return to the way that we have historically done church. And for us, that means services with kids ministry where even the vulnerable and the elderly are able to join us. So let me give you my rationale for where we are right now. I know that some of you are disappointed that we're not heading back to full services right away or even scaling into full services. So let me tell you why. A church our size, it's wonderful that we have the size of church that we do, and God's been gracious to us over 77 years for us to continue to grow and flourish. But we are not built for social distancing. We're not. We could set up services where somebody checks your temperature at the door, where you're given a mask at the door, where you have to stay 6 feet apart, and where we have to have security in place to make sure that that's happening. All of the churches that we're talking to, even if they've had a good experience, have had difficulty kind of legislating these things. Let me tell you the other pieces that are important for us. The scaling in would mean that the elderly wouldn't be able to come to our services, that the immune vulnerable wouldn't be able to come to our services, and that we wouldn't have kids ministry. And for us, in a multicultural, multi-generational church, that means that we would be excluding important parts of our church just for the sake of meeting. And to be honest with you, it's something that I'm not willing to do. I'm not willing to put the hug police in place. I'm not willing to have security have to say, are you 6 feet or 4 feet apart? I'm not willing to exclude the more seasoned and mature veterans, the elderly in our church. And I'm not willing to ask particularly single parents to not come to church because we don't have kids ministry. It's not the way that we have enjoyed church, been excited about church. It's not what we want to produce. It's not the culture that we want to have in church. Secondly, it's important for you to know that that even though this is a topic that's being politicized, please listen to me, this is so important. This isn't political. There are other churches who are making other decisions, being led by good and godly leaders, and they're making the decision that they think is best for their church. Our fight isn't with other churches, and it's not with one another. This isn't a political issue. This is a safety issue. And this is about us learning to be the church even though we can't be at the church. And I want to just caution you and encourage you, and you guys have been so good. This is not corrective in any way, shape, or form. That the temperament of our decisions is as important as our plans and decisions, and that I want our church to be gracious and benevolent and kind. I understand that some of you disagree with this. I understand that some of you are disappointed. I'm disappointed. I would meet this Sunday if I had clear conscience that we would be safe and could enjoy Jesus together in the same room, but I don't. And because I want to be a good pastor and a good leader to you, I'm making what I think is a hard decision for me that I think is the best decision for us right now. Thirdly, and probably most importantly, and I want you to hear this from your pastor who loves you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys have been incredible during what has been an extended season. I've said many times on videos, you can't cancel church, and you guys have proven that. You've continued to stay connected. You've continued to serve. You've continued to reach out. You've continued to give, and as you have, it's allowed us to experience an enormous amount of growth in scale and our influence and our opportunity really around the world. I have said to you many times that God promises to build His church, and the gates of hell cannot do anything about it. And if hell can't do anything about it, COVID can't do anything about it. Come on, somebody. And so we are learning, I believe, to be the church. I know that we want to be at the church. We want to be in the church building. I desperately want to be at the church and in the church building. But we're learning to be the church, and whatever we learn in this season about being the church, we will take into the church, and it will bring God more glory, bring us more joy, and allow us to be more effective in the commission that God has given to us. So I want to give you those plans, want to give you those thoughts, want to give you that rationale and context, and I want to tell you that I love you. I want to tell you that I miss you. I want to tell you that I'm praying for you every day. I want to tell you that I'm so proud of you. I'm so grateful to be your pastor, so grateful to be a part of the story here at Graceway. I believe that hopefully very soon we're going to move into that house party phase, and then maybe very quickly after that we'll be back worshiping together. I can't wait for it. Until then, I love you, and I'll see you soon.